With assistant coach Jared Nightingale as we recap the 2021-2022 season. Jared, a special one for you, coming and joining the IceHogs in November as the assistant coach after a couple of changes made in the organization from top to bottom. But for you, jumping in head first from the junior ranks, how did you assess the season as a coach in the professional setup here and returning home to the state line community?
I was really thankful, really. I know it's a rare circumstance to come when the season's already started, but to come to a place where I'd played and I was familiar with Anders and obviously Mark Bernard, to get back to the American Hockey League at the pro level, really thankful and couldn't ask for a better group. The coaching staff was great, it was comfortable, and I thought we really meshed well. And then the season was really lots to be proud of, the way we improved and took steps. Excited for the future.
You saw this team a front row seat literally on the ice there for your IceHogs going in from November. It felt like from October through about January, mid-January, that was the learning process for this team. A lot of guys coming from different backgrounds, some with experience, some not, coming up from amateur ranks. Where did you see the growth of this team the biggest from your eyes, from your standpoint? Because it seemed like as the final 2 months approached and the postseason, this was a much different group than what we saw at the very beginning of the year.
Yeah, it was quite the process. I thought, for a while there, we were fighting and scratching just to get to 500. And then we'd get a couple games above, then it'd be back to 500, then below. And I thought throughout that process, really a lot of the losses, I think our team responded well and continued to be coachable and learn. And we strung some pretty good hockey together. It made it fun, when obviously winning is fun, but I think, our leadership core and the players really were doing a good job at being focused on the process, whether win or lose, continuing to get better. And we saw the fruits of that, and to make the playoffs and be scratching at third place's door. And, we were right there. Again, that's what makes it really fun to be part of a team. And I think that's what we had. We had a team first mentality.
A lot of rookies on this IceHogs roster, third youngest team in the American Hockey League. You coming from the junior ranks, used to dealing with and working with kids that are young and trying to scratch and claw, as you say. Where do you feel like that experience helped you out and helped the team out? Because for a lot of these guys, it was their first go-around with the grind of a 72-game season and playoffs.
Yeah, I think coaching's coaching. There's differences with junior and pro, but it's crazy to think the third youngest team and, to have the year that we did, it makes you really excited about the future, not just Rockford, but the Blackhawks. It's, like I said, coaching's coaching. I think we developed relationships first with the players, and that's what made it fun to see each player. They all had a different story, take steps. I mean, I can go on and on with guys on the roster, but that's the most rewarding part about being a coach.
You're working with the defense, too, former defenseman yourself. You're a team captain of the IceHogs, too, so you're used to leadership roles, playing major minutes, playing in a lot of different situations. Focusing on the defense specifically, that's a deep line that you were working with all season long. Ryan Stanton, veteran guidance with guys that all pretty much spent time with the Chicago Blackhawks this year. Where did you feel like the IceHog defense made the most strides this season to be able to get those phone calls from the National Hockey League, but also help this Hogs team push forward and get into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think it was not just the D, but collectively, guys did a great job taking pride in our own end. I thought our gaps got really good, and that's when we were at our best, shutting down teams, forcing them to dump. But collectively, as a unit of five, I thought it really started to mesh well. And that's a challenge. Young defensemen, they want to get up in the play, especially this day and age, and they want the puck. I think the guys being coachable and focusing on play away from the puck. You think of Mitchell, all the D, Calvis, Phillips, Regula, Callie, Watson, Stanton, Bodes, when we were at our best is when those guys were being really good away from the puck. So it's another thing that was rewarding to see.
You've coached a lot of guys, you've played with a lot of guys in your career. Young group, but now looking to make that next step. You get that first full year under your belt, you get a taste of playoff hockey, you know what the work ethic is required of you and the grind is required of you. What's the next step that you see for a lot of these young prospects for the Chicago Blackhawks to develop into?
Yeah, it's like anything. You gain experience with the years you're playing. I think continue to have that humble approach and, come back with more to prove. I think, I was just talking to Phillips. Phillips had a really good year and just take another step physically and kind of find a chip on your shoulder to come back and be better and want to prove people that, you belong at the next level. I think that goes with all of our players, not just the defensemen.
How much does the competition play into that too? Because it is a deep line back there, and you talk about Mitchell, Phillips, Kalnick, Regula, Bodine, Stanton, Watson. Like, I mean, we can rattle off the entire roster pretty much. I'd imagine the competition of being close as a tight-knit group and being friends is great, but also battling for position, battling for ice time has to be that driver too.
Yeah, no doubt. They guys see that there's opportunity at the next level, but they'll have competition their whole career. I mean, the older you get, there's younger players, there's free agents. You'll never go a year or a season without having some adversity and competition, and it's all how you handle it. The luxury of the Blackhawks is all these high in character. They realize what's at stake, and again, I think it's going to be really, really good for the future of the Blackhawks that these guys are coming up and wanting to make an impression.
Now looking at you, sir, moving into the offseason and getting ready for next year and camps and so forth around the corner. There's some interim tags still in that locker room as well. How is the coaching staff approaching an offseason? How are you approaching an offseason? And what's to come on the horizon?
Yeah, a lot of that, above my pay grade, you can't predict things. I'm excited for the future here and excited to continue to working and getting better as a coach, getting better with the players. It's a process for us too. We're trying to be better and learn and again, all the outside circumstances will take care of itself. Again, I feel really fortunate to be part of this staff. Anders and Pete, Adam Gill, Nick Anderson, and Mark Bernard. It was really a comfortable and tight-knit group.
All work and no play, no fun, Mr. Nightingale. What's the summer hold for you? I know you run a lot of youth hockey camps here in the Midwest and in the state line community too, but hopefully a chance to unwind a little bit. But are we going to be seeing you a lot this summer? I feel like we might.
Yeah, I'm going to come back. Obviously I'm not keeping the place here. I have a home back in Michigan and, spend a lot of time with family and house chores, catch up on that. But yeah, I have a couple hockey camps, around the Hoffman Estates area. So you'll be seeing me. Hope that's okay, Joey.
Absolutely.